Welcome to Senior Smart Talk, and we're here today. My name is Tricia Ayers. I'm your host, and we are talking about, is it time to move? Is it time to stay put? And all the things that this amazing company does. I want to welcome Allison and Jason Van Hecke to the studio, and they are part of this wonderful creation called the Lighthouse Group. Welcome, Allison.
Thank you for having
Welcome,
us.
Jason.
Thank you so much.
See, we've just been chatting as it is, so we're just ready to roll the cameras now.
That's
so,
right.
Allison, you have been a guest before, but for those people who do not know, what is the Lighthouse Group?
So Lighthouse Group is a full-service downsizing company. We're the only one of its kind in Arkansas. We pretty much offer end-to-end services for people that are really thinking about moving and downsizing, but maybe don't have the physical or the mental stamina that they once did.
Okay, and why did you decide on the Lighthouse Group as a name? Is there a story behind it?
Yeah, there is. So my family spends a lot of time up in Michigan near lighthouses, and I really thought about what a lighthouse symbolizes, and it's really bringing people to safety. And so that's where the lighthouse came from. Was we want to guide people. It symbolizes being a guide, and we want to guide people to a safe environment, which is exactly what a lighthouse does.
And what is your background, and how did you get to being the Lighthouse Group?
Yeah. So my background is in social work. So I've spent 20 plus years in social work and various capacities. But the last one that I worked at was Mercy Hospital. And I worked on a senior behavior health floor. What that means is basically people would be entered into the hospital because of, maybe their meds got messed up, or maybe, so we saw a lot of people with Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, things like that. And what I was noticing is we would have family meetings, and the doctor would often tell the patient couldn't return home.
Right.
And there hadn't been a plan put in place for that. And the family always looked at me as the social worker, like, what are we going to do about this? And I didn't have an answer for them. And so I sought out to figure out how to problem solve that particular problem of how to help people safely get from home into their next living environment safely, and honestly with a lot less stress.
And you're right, people don't plan. They don't have a plan. So when you're helping people right now with the Lighthouse Group, I know you're helping the senior, but are you dealing with the senior more or the family, or does it just depend?
It totally depends, because it really is a matter of who's got capacity,
Yes.
if you will. So we do work a lot with people who have cognitive impairments. So in those situations, we work a lot with the family. We work with a lot of people who either couples or singles who are just ready to move out of the home and stop taking care of the yard and all the maintenance that's involved with that. And so
Right.
they're our primary client. And then we do work with estates. So if somebody's passed and the family, for instance, I've got a situation right now we're working with where the family, one lives in Oklahoma, one's in Kansas City, and one's in Texas. And the house is here in Bella Vista, and so we're helping with managing that clear out so that they can continue being at home with family and working and making their process a lot simpler.
Right. And you mentioned Bella Vista. We're in Bella Vista. We're filming in Bella
Yes.
Vista. We're coming out of our snowstorm of 2026.
It's like Snowmageddon.
Oh my gosh. Real estate right now, what's the market like? I mean, I know it has been booming, like 500 houses added. I was listening to the mayor the other day.
Yes.
How is it from your perspective? Is it a good...
So lots of new construction has really changed the market in Bella Vista. I would say, so I work with a lot of new existing homes, resales, and I do think the amount of new construction homes has hurt existing sale homes. That being said, it's very important to price right and to trust your realtor's guidance on those pricings, because we are in a balanced market. So it's not a seller's market anymore like we saw in 2022. It's not a buyer's market. It's much more balanced. So what that means for sellers is just price right. Price according to what the data shows, not according to what you need to get out of the house or what you want out of the house, but really just price smart and price according to what the data shows, and you'll have a successful sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, beautiful place to live, Bella Vista.
Oh, I can't imagine
I think you
living
guys
anywhere
live
else.
in Bella Vista
We
too.
do.
Yeah, we love
I
it.
do
We
too.
do.
Love it.
Yes.
I liked the fact that I only had one little icy road to get to get up to get here. So thank you so much to the road crew. They were
They did
amazing,
fantastic,
amazing.
yes.
So most common reasons that probably family reaches out to you. Those conversations that go on, or visited over holidays, and they kind of
Yes, January is full of a lot of conversations with family members who've realized that maybe mom and dad are not doing as well as maybe they thought they were doing,
Right.
and how to help them. So we do have a lot of conversations. And also I think the older adults themselves reach out to us because of conversations they've had with their kids. So the holidays do tend to put things into perspective, and people spend more time together.
Right.
So it's just easier for people to see what the true situation is either at their parents' house. So.
And I know one unique thing to you and your group, you have an educational series that's been running for many years now.
We do. We
And-
started in 2019,
Yes.
pre-COVID.
Tell us a little bit about
Yes.
that.
Senior Smart Talk is what that is called. It's a free monthly seminar series offered on Tuesdays, or not Tuesdays, Thursdays,
Okay.
between 10 and 11:30. This year we have a new location. We're going to be at the First United Methodist Church in downtown Bentonville.
Oh,
They
nice.
are offering the space for us, which is very nice.
They have good parking, too.
Great parking.
Yeah, that's
Easy
the
to get.
big key.
And
Yes.
as long as the construction in downtown Bentonville stays away, it is easy to get to.
Right.
So we're really excited about that partnership this year. We offer, it's purely educational, never salesy, and so we try to put issues that are important to aging in front of people so that people do have the skills and the tools to plan ahead and know that they really need to plan ahead. Because I mean, we've never been the age we are now, and nobody wants to talk about aging, and it sneaks up on you. But if you're not planning ahead and not preparing, then it's hard to age well.
Amen to that. No, I was thinking this morning when I was driving in, I've probably been hosting this show in some form for maybe 5 or 6 years. And where I was at the beginning to where I am now, I'm moving towards 60. And you start to think about mobility and location, and we have a grab bar in our going down into the garage, and I have a support system. But shoveling the driveway, you start to go, this is going to be interesting.
Yes.
Short driveway, but this is going to be very interesting in a few
In the
years'
next 5 or
time.
10 years.
Yes. Getting my trash cans up. I have a smoke detector that's been out for couple of years, things like that.
Yes.
That as you start to age, and it's all about that mobility, because
Yes.
you think, I'm always going
Yes.
to be fit and active, and then you
Right.
start to age, and you realize there are some things that you're probably going to have difficulty with.
Well, and 90% of people want to stay home. They
Yes.
don't want to move. And
Yes.
so we want to support that
Right.
if that's their goal. And so one of the biggest changes we've made to our company in the last year was adding Jason to our company, and it has a new arm of the business, because what we really see from our perspective, we want to provide services and meet people where they are. We never want to push people into decisions or make people move if they don't feel like that's what they want.
Right.
Sometimes necessity requires it, but not always. And what we want to see is people just whatever they call home, that they can be there safely. And so we've added this aging in place division of Lighthouse Group, which is brand new for us, which I'm really excited to talk about today as
Yes,
well.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Excited.
How's that for a segue?
I love that. That was a
good.
good. I
That
can
was
just go. I can go have a cup of coffee, and you two can just talk. I love it. I love it. So, Jason, you joined the business. So, what is your background, if I may ask?
My
first?
background's in architecture. So I have my architecture license and practice architecture for probably 15 years in true practice. Then I went to more the marketing, sales development side of that business, and was in that for a while, more on the sales side. But it was still, to me, was still architecture. You were just handling a little bit differently.
So, joining Lighthouse Group, what are your main responsibilities for developing this aging in place, and what services will you be offering?
Right, yeah. So that's good. I am leading the new division, the Aging Place division. So I handle all parts of that division. So there are days where I'm doing some of the architecture, layouts, looking at things we could do to improve people's houses. Ahead of that, we do assessments for people's homes, so we can go in and put eyes on the home, how it is, and give thumbs up on things that are good in the house, and give recommendations for things that should be or could be or need to be better, whether it's now or at some point in the process.
Right.
And then beyond that, there is a marketing and sales division to just get the word out to other providers, network folks, to understand what we do and how we can help them. And then as part of Lighthouse as a whole, then I'm sort of overseeing or help guide some of the operations and finance for the whole division, so real estate can do it they do best and focus on that, and same with the move management.
So Allison has you really busy, basically.
Yes, and I love it. It's great.
It's not just a title, she's actually...
Right, no, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I love it. So when you go into homes, what are you seeing are some of the biggest hurdles of people staying in place?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Thank you.
First couple things we see that make a big difference are things that sound simple and you wouldn't even notice, but make a big difference as you move through. So grade changes, level changes. Is there a step to a porch, and from the porch to the house?
Yes.
Even in the house, are there, differences in flooring? So tile to carpet, those type of things.
Yes.
Another one that's kind of silent but makes a big difference down the road is door widths. A lot of doors were made smaller to get rooms to fit, but now all of a sudden you have a 24-inch wide door to a bathroom or to a toilet room. Well, those don't work very well if you get to a point where you need a walker or definitely a wheelchair.
Yes.
So those are things that make sense and you wouldn't notice on the day-to-day, but then down the road are a pretty big impact. So we're looking at things like that, flooring surfaces. Tile versus carpet. Is the carpet a full carpet or area rug, and are the edges curling up? I mean, these are things we're looking at. Lighting is a big difference, and not only powered lighting, but daylighting. Is there enough light in the space? How does it work at night? So those are some of the big things that come in. And then on top of that, then you start to get into things like where are grab bars needed, or handrails if there are steps, or is it a ramp, or a tub may be fine, but does that need to change to more of a shower that's flush to the floor? So those are some of the big things that come up that we look at right away that may not be obvious, but with someone that's been through some of the training and understands it, stand out to us that others wouldn't notice on a day-to-day basis.
You are so right, because I can remember my husband's mom coming to stay after she was in Oklahoma. She came to stay with us. She was in a wheelchair at that point, and me thinking that my big open plan house was going to be so easy to navigate. And then you look at how are we getting into the restroom, and just those things that
you just don't think about when you don't need to use those.
And what's fascinating about it is this gets to a point, just what you're talking about, gets to a point about visitability. So it's not only necessarily who lives in the house, but is family going to come over? Do you want to have friends over to have a social or kind of a community, energy?
Yes.
And if they can't get there, that doesn't help either.
Right.
So it goes beyond just who lives in the home. I mean, we've had friends our age that say, my parents can't even come visit.
Right.
Because they can't
get up the stairs
or can't get inside.
You are so right. Okay, well, hold those thoughts. We got to take a short pause, and we will be right back after a few commercials.
Hello, I'm Dave Todd, president of Todd Films. We work alongside Bella Vista Community Television to produce some of the content you see aired here. Have you thought about reaching your customers through a television ad? We have several options for you to consider. They range from coming to our studio here, or going to your place of business, or on location. Once you have your commercial, Bella Vista Community Television has several options for you to consider for airing your commercial. Do you have a live event that you would like to capture on video? We also offer live production packages that may be of interest. Please continue to tune in to Bella Vista Community Television. We hope you are enjoying this program. And now back to the show.
And we are back from our break. Thank you so much. I'm joined with Allison and Jason Van Hecke from the Lighthouse Group. Amazing services to help our seniors downsize into communities or facilities, and also a new branch of the business to help people stay in place. So Allison, that was a great point that Jason was making about the social aspect, because sometimes we get very clinical about we're going to get this space right for you, but we have to take the whole person. So how do you address that, especially when you're not particularly keeping people in place, but moving them to an independent community where they don't have thousands of square feet and you're dealing with emotions and all that good stuff?
Yes, there's some statistics out there about loneliness as we age that says it's more dangerous than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. So when you really consider how important visitability is to your home so people can come see you, or moving into something where you can have some social outlets, I can't stress enough how important that piece of aging is for people. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And so I think people really need to look at what that is for them. You know, I'm just being locked in the house for a couple of days really makes you think about how important is it to get out and get to see people. What I like about senior living communities for older adults is the fact that you have, some people really struggle with that maybe 600 to 1,100 square foot home. But what I stress to people is it's really, the whole place is your home. And you have the benefit when you're there of choosing whether you want to be alone or whether you want to be social. Right. And that's really kind of a gift when driving becomes harder and you don't feel comfortable getting out if the weather's bad or you can't drive at night. Just having that built-in choice of being able to connect with others without having to do those things is a real gift for people. And I see a big change in people who, because sometimes I think staying home can become kind of your mantra. That's what you're going to do because that's what, you know, this is my home. Yes. And this is the last place I was ever going to live, becomes kind of you get stuck there. But sometimes a home can also become kind of your prison too, if you're not able to drive or you're not able to get out to see friends and family. So it's really about analyzing and really being honest with yourself about what it is you need to age well, and what that looks like for you. Again, we don't ever push people, but we just want people to think through their options. There's really amazing places in Northwest Arkansas to live, if that's in all kinds of different budgets. Right. Can be met with those. And so it's fun for us. We try, one of the things we offer in the summer months is senior living discovery tours. Ooh. So I think one of the thing is when the older generation thinks of senior living, they think of a rest home. Yes. Or they think of a nursing home. And what I don't think people realize is the amenities that are in some of these beautiful places. And so we just want to give them exposure to this. And so we offer very non-committal tours, just educational tours of the different places so that people can see what options are out there, because you can't make good choices if you don't know what your options are.
Absolutely not.
And so that's one of the things we offer in the summer months, is just another aspect of education that helps people just envision what life could look like in a different lifestyle setting.
That's amazing, because you're right.
Did that answer your question?
Absolutely. Okay. Because, you know, you and I and Jason are in communities, facilities, networking with, we know mean, most of us walk in and go, I would like to be here right now.
I might move
there
in.
have been days we were like, wow.
Right now, this is amazing, and you do want people before they're ready to do that to go and experience that.
Yes.
And there's not a hard sell there. People just want to buy you lunch and show you their community.
Right.
Because I
but
think
it's also intimidating when you do it on your own.
Yes.
So we offer that as a group setting to be able to go
Nice.
in as a group to be able to do that.
okay.
And that's what I was going to say about those. They're amazing because there is less pressure. It's definitely more casual.
Yes.
But it gets them through the door and maybe takes away some of that
Right.
stigma or that stress that they can at least experience it on a little different
It's also
level.
anonymous because I don't let the communities get their names and numbers.
Smart. Yes. Yes. You go as a group of friends.
So yes,
Yeah.
it's a group of friends.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. So, Jason, what people looking at home or watching this, millions of viewers, I'm sure,
Yes.
are tuning in and they're going, okay, Jason said there's maybe a couple of things that I need to look at right now to help me stay in my home. What would they be? What would be your top couple of
Top
things?
couple
Yes.
things.
Yes.
One that I think of initially is you don't have to do them right away.
Yeah.
But think about places where you potentially need grab bars and be able to. We just helped a couple this week who didn't need them, and then the husband had an illness and was in the hospital for about a month and was coming home and quickly needed them.
Okay.
So we were able to figure out where they needed to be and get them put in for him this week. So by the time he came home, they were in.
Okay.
So 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, they didn't necessarily need them or want them, but then they quickly became a necessity. So I'm not saying that means you have to go ahead and put them in,
Right.
but plan for it or account for those things or make sure some of those are at least addressed. So when the time comes, that can be handled pretty quickly.
So grab bars.
So that's one.
Okay.
Again, aesthetically, they're not so great, so we understand why people don't want to put them in initially, but I think that's
Right.
one for people to just think through a little bit. The other thing that's easy that people can do is just look at floor surfaces and make sure there's no issues there.
Okay.
You know, like I mentioned earlier, the carpet curling up, area rugs curling up, areas that may make sense or use, especially in snowy times like now. You might have something somewhere over tile to make sure it's not slippery. It makes sense, but that also can become a trip hazard on any
Right.
given day. So those are a couple things that I think of right away. Look at lighting, make sure lighting is good and up to date. You know, if bulbs are out, don't try and get on a ladder and do them yourself. Call someone to come do those. There's a lot of really nice kits out there now that change from the incandescent bulbs to LED. So not only is that better lighting, but then you don't have to worry about bulbs going out,
Right.
those type of things. Those are a couple things I think right now
Right.
that you can look at that are pretty easy, not very intrusive at this point, you know, that can be at least kind of addressed.
Okay, great. Allison, when does it get to that point where staying in the home, even with all of the modifications that we've done, doesn't work?
Right. That's a hard conversation to have,
Yeah.
and we're definitely willing to work through those decisions with people. I think when it becomes so taxing on a caregiver is one time where, because we also know that caregivers are much often at risk health-wise and die before their person they're caregiving
Right.
for. And so we want to take care of that person and make sure that they are not burning themselves out or doing things that do not allow them to be good to the person they're caregiving for. So that's one area that I find people are really ready to give up, is that living at home as a caregiver. I think when your physical ability to keep up with the house becomes either you don't want to do it or it just becomes too hard.
Right.
That's when you really want to start thinking about something different.
Right.
It's never good to just let things go. that never helps either you or the house. And so I always tell people it's better to move 5 years too early than 5 minutes too late.
Okay.
So that is something to really keep in mind, that moving and making your own choices and decisions when you can is so important. If you are doing it early allows you to be in 100% control of the choices you have.
Right.
It allows you to have more choices. When it becomes a crisis, when you've waited too long, you do eliminate so many aspects of just freedom and independence, because you're under someone else's timeline. You need to get out, so you make choices that maybe you regret later. When you have the adequate time and you have the energy to do it well, people live much happier.
Yes.
So my advice is, it's better to move 5 years too early than 5 minutes too late.
Because then you can be in control of the process
The
too.
whole thing.
You're not having other people.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. So who are some of the other professionals that you work with to get all this together? I'm sure you work with other realtors in place?
So we have our own real estate
Okay.
team. So we do the home sales for people.
Okay.
So essentially, we've talked a lot about the new division, but we
Yes.
have 2 other divisions.
Okay.
One is the move management division, and that is the division that does the actual downsizing.
Okay.
So they'll work with people through space planning, through sorting through their things to decide what they want to keep. They'll pack things up for them, and we do contract with movers because we need someone with muscle.
Right.
But we have it all ready for them, so it's very simple and easy for the movers to just come and put things where we've already planned, because we do a lot of planning on the front end to be able to have a successful move. Once the movers are done, then we resettle you according to the plan that we've created. And so within 48 hours, people are box free. Wow. And pictures are on the wall, TVs are hung, all of that. So it's really, we do a lot of planning to make sure the move goes quickly and efficiently for people, so that people can get back to their life
Right.
without having to be too stressed. So that's a system that we've worked really hard on over the last couple of years. How can we do this so that it's the least amount of stress for people, especially when you're caregiving or when you have a loved one that has cognitive issues? You don't want to be disrupting life for a very long time. So
Right.
we try to be very efficient and do what we can do quickly. So the move management is one division, and then we do have the real estate division, and they work seamlessly together. It's a seamless flow. People really don't know when one stops and the other picks up the baton,
Right.
so that, again, we can just keep moving forward for people in their transition.
So that sounds wonderful, and I imagine when you have amazing seniors and family and everybody's on the same page, that just works seamlessly. What are some of the hiccups in the process, and what advice do you give to families when those hiccups happen? Sometimes it's the family who creates the hiccup, but what advice do you give them?
It is interesting. I do think that when you hire a team of professionals like ours, it does allow the daughter or the son to be a daughter or a son, and not the estate liquidator or the mover or and so it does allow, I think, families to be able to stay intact a little bit better. We can be the bad guys, we can be the heavy. We're not emotionally charged. This is an emotional time for people. Yeah. People are looking at, they think they're looking at the end. And this is very hard. And a lot of people in the generation we're moving became the caretakers of grandma and mom's things, and they have a lot of ownership and guilt if they can't keep them and the kids don't want them. Yes. It becomes a lot. So I think one of the hardest parts for people in this whole process is determining what to keep and being okay with letting the other stuff go.
Right.
And that is probably, if you want my honest opinion,
yes, please,
the absolute hardest thing for most people, because values have changed around stuff, where people used to gladly take grandma's china and gladly take the antique furniture and gladly take, all of these family treasures.
Right.
We're finding this younger generation, I would say 40 and under, maybe 50 and under,
right.
don't want it. They don't want the stuff. And so it's very emotionally challenging for some people to wrap their head around the fact that these family heirlooms are not going to stay in the family any longer.
Well, we are running out of time. Lots to talk about. Still, you'll have to come back again and give us an update on the event. We'd like to thank you for joining us. We'd like to thank the Lighthouse Group, Allison and Jason Van Hecke for coming. Go find them. Go to their educational programs. It's amazing. They're all over the place. And start to make those decisions right now. Go give your precious stuff away to your precious family.